Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News, baby dolls. We've got a cracker episode for you today. Bitcoin at 106,000 American dollars. It's taken a tiny bit of a jittery move downwards. That's right, the opposite of up. Why won't you go up? Well, we know why, friends. I mean, we just had, 7 or 8 green weekly candles in a row. We know pretty much we need to reset. We've exhausted all the bulls, they say. So this is the 8-hour chart of Bitcoin. We've come down here. Now, friends, some of you have immediately asked, what about James Wynn? James Wynn, his liquidation was meant to be 106,300. What happened? Well, I've got some updates and stuff coming on a bit later. I'll just tell it to you now. He's been selling his meme coin that he literally 48 hours ago. He said he's got a meme coin called Moonpig, which I'll show you now. Now, this is obviously, you can do what you want. I mean, it's down 29% in a day because he's dumping it. They found these wallets. He's been dumping. Now, friends, it's okay to sell. Don't worry. Who cares? Oh, people buy, people sell. The thing is, though, he's got a $15 million leverage long position. He needs to sell this to try save his long. And he already sold. He had another coin, friends. So he's been dumping this to try fill up his longs. So he's only been able, though, man. He did too much leverage, dude. James Wynn. I want you to win, man. I want him to win. Even though, friends, he's got shady revealing, very shady past with how he's got the money. It's so controversial, but it'd do good for all of us if he actually went and made a big punt, because he was just man, all the retailers are coming in for that. You know, friends, they're going to put down their Game Boys for a day, and they're going to come and look at crypto seriously. They're like, oh, he's just an ordinary guy from Manchester. So he's been selling this aggressively to try to save his liquidation, like I said. Problem is, his liquidation, it's at $105,000 now. All right, so I'm going to go down here. So, yeah, it got close. It's only down 105. Man, I'm in shock, bro. I've even saying to all you baby dolls, I said, dude, if you're going to open up a leveraged long Bitcoin position here, I would not be able to sleep at night if the liquidation price was above 80,000, personally. If I'm just walking away to do nothing, right? 80,000. Yeah, because Bitcoin can just do a wild 25% out of nowhere, right? And 25% would take it to 82,000. And by the way, maybe 70,000. Maybe 70,000. But that's just it, man. When you're a gamble mentality person, he did a 40x leverage long, bro. Oh, man, it's just way too aggressive. That's what happens in this game. These stories aren't fake. We know they're real, man. The casino, right? It's built off tears. So you ever see those, friends? You ever go to Miami, you look at everything oh, wow, Miami, Vegas, they're who built all this? It's people losing. They have no edge, right? So you got to be careful when it comes to the bull market, especially with these leverage stuff out here. Look, I always say, friends, people always say to me, oh, sign me up. What are you going to do when it comes time to do the tax stuff? I said, bro, 2 years ago, I literally made videos. I said, I've got a trick for you that I do. I actually buy 30 to 50% more. And I go, okay, that's to pay taxes at the end. That's what I do. So if I was going to put in, $5,000 in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to, this years ago, did in the bull bear market, right? I'm going to put in 7,500. Yeah, 2,500, that's the government. I'll take on that risk, right? But other people have different plans. I'll just give you one example, right? And then other people, because that's what Fred just got to tell you. You got to be careful, man. In the bull market, you're going to see big multi-million-dollar position screenshots. You're going to see, oh, some guy's leveraged long. He's up 8 million. Another guy made 25 million. Someone turned $3,000 into 920,000. You're going to see that, and that's going to make you think your position is nothing. Yeah. And it's good in terms of, oh, be humbled, but it goes too far. And then you think, oh, I can just start taking 50K slaps into this coin, 100K slaps. Oh, what's 50K, 100K, right? Because hopefully some of you got $1 million position. You're like, oh, yeah, what's 50K, 100K? I'll try to make another 10X on this. And guess what? It works the first time. Kind of, right? But not really. Don't rely on it working. And then they eventually stop working. And that's when the bear market comes, because you realize you were getting that genius idea, not genius. You were doing that genius idea to take on more risk and keep rotating around the casino alongside everybody else. And you only realize that as the prices start capitulating on the way down. So hopefully we don't get to see that anytime soon. But that's why I'm just warning you up here. Friends, if you see euphoria in anything, anywhere, feel free, man. You don't have to even see euphoria, friends. If it's going up, trim profits for yourself. 5%, 10%. I mean, remember I even said technically you're meant to be taking out 2% every week, right? Technically, of even going off the past cycle stuff. There is no answer, right? But that's it. And by the way, just to let you know as well, during the bull market stuff, when they actually come out, like even saying sell 1%, that is extremely contrarian and people hate you for it. Just because you said sell 1%. Yeah. Because the word sell or to leave anything out, they're like, what do you mean sell 1%, dude? We're all just getting in now, you know? So you're gonna have to figure that out on your own. I will be saying it. I'm like, look, you should be selling every portion. Doesn't mean it's over. But yeah, that's just to let you know, right? Because remember, friends, I'm having fun doing this. Yeah, I'm doing this for you. I'm also having fun. I make it entertaining for myself, right? 18 hours a day here, highest value content in crypto. So the last thing I want to do is get into a public boxing match with the crowd, right? Because you guys like don't think it's over at all, you know? And I'm saying, well, bro, like maybe it's 50-50 chance, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that because then you start resenting people. And then remember, friends, I told you, you fast forward 6 months, they're all gone anyway. So it's a complete waste of time. That's why you just got to focus on your own game. Now, speaking of focusing on your own game, Ethereum has started to show some strength. I've said to everybody, shh, nobody say anything. Nobody say anything. Don't jinx it. Ethereum at 2,600, pushing 2,700. Remember, Bitcoin is doing a bit of the jittery action, so it's going to have to like settle itself down. What does that actually mean, though? We guess we just need more time. Hopefully, the month of June is nice. This is the S&P 500 weekly chart. Looking at this daily. So remember, S&P 500, it squeezed some shorts out here. Why? Because a judge came out and said tariffs are illegal. You're not allowed to do tariffs. And so the market, the short, it's just like a bunch of bullshit. You know a random judge is not going to stop the president, bro. And the shorts got squeezed out. But then something else came out and said, oh, no, the tariffs are legal. Like, oh, no, the judge can't actually do that. And then basically the market's like come back down. So I don't even like just these news events. They're not driving anything. It's just it's people's skits. Like the market's gotten really nowhere to go, and it's just like there's demand and supply imbalances, and just the weakest positions are hitting out. You can tell the bears are the weakest, right? Because like it was a fake judge news thing, and they're like, oh crap, I got to get out. The tariffs are illegal. Now I also want to show you my friend Carlin Talks Crypto and his global M2 liquidity stuff. Right here, looking like it's going to be maybe an Uncle Bobby reset, as he says. But he's Uncle Bobby resets just for the next couple of days before we pop up on again. Remember, friends, big risk with this. By the way, isn't it wild, dude, you were here. Did I not tell you that this is extremely dangerous because it will lure in retails to do leverage longs? I can't believe I said that. And then James Wynn now has a 40x leverage long. Now, he's not trading off the global M2 liquidity, but he's got a 40x leverage long up here. It's like, oh, we just go up forever. You might say, hey, sure he's a retailer. Yeah. You check out his history. Like, it's kind of like, there is that one guy who, they win that $200 million jackpot. That one random warehouse worker. Yeah, that's it. You're one of the chosen ones. But do they keep it? Totally different story. Because, to be rich, friends, to be wealthy, it's a state of mind, man. It's a growth mindset. It's abundance mindset. That's what being rich is. Because, like, if you have an abundance mindset, you're collecting currency units from around the world. But why? Because you're always throwing them out into the future for them to keep growing. Yeah, so if you're not even ready for that mindset and you're always in the consumption mindset, oh, I want new Gucci shoes. Oh, I'm going to buy a new $2,000 sunglasses. Oh, I want a new state-of-the-art Game Boy when your one already works perfectly fine, right? So this consumption mindset, you just end up this lifestyle where now you're like, what are you consuming? You're basically consuming reputation from people around you who don't give a shit, dude. Because I look at them. So people don't realize, bro. You understand? Most people are looking in the mirror most of the time. That they don't care. They don't care about you, dude. No one actually cares about you. Okay, I care about you. I've got my content, but I don't care about like, dude. If I were run into you in person and you have tissue boxes for shoes, I still like you. Okay, but there's some sick losers out there that actually look down on people like that. Well, no, bro, the world's looking down on you. They have their scarcity mindset people. They're literally trapped. Okay, they have to walk around like, oh no, I have to get the latest clothes. I have to look the best. Do this. Guess who ends up being the most depressed, friends? Those people. Okay, because they realize it way too late. They go, oh wow, I've been living my whole life a lie. Yeah, bro. Welcome to the real world. No one actually cares about you. How long did it take for you to figure that out, right? You notice, friends, who do people like really care about? Who they go crazy for? You know, like music artists and sports stars. Why? Because it's how they feel. Makes them feel good, right? Not feel like they're not worth much. They don't make them feel like, you know, oh, I feel like I'm poor, not doing enough. People don't like that. They flock to people, make them feel good. And abundance mindset should make you feel good. Why? Because you should be using your God-given ability to speculate on the future and just think about the dopamine you would get, which is a funny way to think about it. But you get the dopamine you get of like, oh, wow, I put one currency unit away today. It might come back as 10 tomorrow. Yeah. I plant a seed today, and in the future, it's going to be a beautiful plant. You see what I mean? Abundance mindset. That's why these people are always thinking of the future like that. That's also why you'll find a lot of the best, say, investors or the people who are amazing at these abilities to see the future. Even like, friends, look at Richard Hart. They don't, like, you look at where they live, they don't really care. Like, you know, there's boxes over here, this thing's got dust, because they're not focusing on the now. They're always thinking of the future. So you can't let yourself go too wild. That's why we're in crypto in the first place, right? Right? That's the people who make it, that's what they're doing. They're always thinking of a better tomorrow. They're playing for that better tomorrow. Now, I'm going to show you the OTHERS-btc chart. We're still on 6 red monthly candles. I just hope we finish red. It's kind of like, it's just like it represents the pain. I don't want it to be like, oh, last day we turned green, right? Because then you just won't be able to see the damage on the chart. But yeah, this is pretty much, I don't know, bro. They're all saying it's all over in July, man. I don't think so, dude. Is that what's going to happen? Like, there's just no demand for anything now. All these network effects go down. Like, I don't know, dude. But XRP kind of proved otherwise. It proved like XRP's product market fit is people want to be in crypto, but they don't think the government's going to lose. They think the government's going to control everything. CBDCs, Bitcoin, and then they want to bet on XRP because they're just cuddling up to the government. It's their meme cult. They're like, hey, I love the government and I like crypto at the same time because I want to be in. That's the XRP. That's why XRP, like, they're like, hey, man, you guys are like totally on the fence. Like, you're here for the money to reward everybody, but then you're like here for the government. But don't worry about the perspective, bro. Did the chart not pump up 600% in 77 days? Yeah. So that's why, man, even if you look at people who judge PulseChain, right? They're like, oh, I'm in another coin community. Yeah, but what? Because they like their coins listed on tier 1 exchanges and they like being late to stuff. Okay, I like being early to stuff. It's a different state of mind. By the way, you check out the people who like change their lives from poor to rich. Okay, no one ever goes from poor to rich in the big stuff. No one. Okay, you only go from rich to even more rich. That's it. You can't go from poor to rich being in the big stuff because the multiplier is not big enough, right? Now, I want to show you something interesting, friends. The Sol ETH ratio still is ticking down. It's like really close now. It has gotten very close before. It actually flipped red here and then it just reversed back up. Okay, this was Donald Trump. Donald Trump's meme coin made it shoot all the way back up and it's still coming back here, right? So if it just drops another 5%, it's over. Yeah, pretty much it's over. I mean, like, what do I mean by it's over? I mean, Solana doesn't go to zero, duh. But just like everybody's in, bro. You got Bitcoin maxis in. Yeah. Like, you had like 6 months to exit. You got no excuses, man. Like, you have Bitcoin maxis cheering on the death of Ethereum and celebrating Solana because they don't take Solana seriously because they know it's really centralized, disguising as decentralization. If that doesn't tell you something's wrong with this picture in terms of like too many weak hands are now in and it's priced to perfection, then nothing will, because that's as obvious as anything to me. Let's crack on with some juicy news as well. So Bitcoin 2025 event continues, but I'll be honest, there are some alarming top signals. For example, Steve Aoki is there, and I'll just show you some of it now. So look at this. This is Bitcoin conference. This is all the speakers. I don't know what this dude is. Isn't this is the dude who wants to live forever? It's kind of funny. He's dressing like a 14-year-old teenager as well. You never know, friends. Imagine he does outlive us. And imagine the scientists in the future go, wait, it was all a placebo. It's just because you were like so focused on like being young, your brain basically programmed the rest of your cells to like, you know, degenerate slower. That would be funny. Wouldn't it be funny if most of it was a placebo at the end when the guy wants to live forever? But here's a funny part. Like, what are you doing here, bro? What are you doing here? He made a funny tweet. He said that he's going to live until the year 2140. That's when the Bitcoin halvening, I think, actually stops. Actually, no more minting emission. That's why he said that. Now, if you just check out these picture, friends, just very, very alarming, okay? So you're seeing the guy who wants to live forever, as in Bitcoin's going to be around forever type of mindset. But the most dangerous one is Steve Aoki. Okay, now Steve Aoki, my gosh, Steve Aoki top signals, bro. Friends, I'm not joking, dude. Steve Aoki, yeah, man, he was a giant top signal for NFTs. Huge. Like he top blasted all the NFTs. And he does it every time. Every NFT, every project he's in, always the top. And there's not what, like, I'm not joking about, like, literally dangerous top every single time. Yeah, so I guess it makes sense, right? He's a DJ. I'm not a fan of his music, by the way. It's a bit too, like, just a bit too dirty for me. But, like, I'm leaning towards a state of cope because I don't want to believe that it's over. American Bitcoin. All in on Bitcoin. Oh, man, it's just something just doesn't seem right, bro. Just something about this picture, just, you know what I mean? Like, cypherpunks, liberating mankind, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, no blacklist functions. What are you doing with the freaking Tether CEO standing there? Why is he there, bro? He's literally, what he's doing... Okay, the government forced them to do it, but bro, your Tether's code, you have blacklist function on there. Like, you know, Satoshi made Bitcoin because the government has a blacklist function on your US bank account. You know that, right? Or any government. You know the whole reason why this conference is there is because of what you're doing. Imagine, like, literally, imagine El Chapo just rocks up to a police convention. And he's like, cops are great. Cops are so cool. You know, and he's just hanging out there. And you're thinking, something's not right here, bro. They only have a job because of this bad stuff that you do. You know what I mean? Like, you decapitate people. Right? So I'm leaning more towards this being more of the Bitcoin dominance top. And why is that? It's just cope. Obviously, we need it to be. If the cycle's over, we're so wrecked, bro. We can't go through another 4 years of this. This is the Bitcoin dominance. Remember, if you zoom in as well, it did the whole classical drop down, back to the retrace. Everybody's totally complacent. Friends, isn't it wild, by the way? Isn't it wild? Just think about this. It comes back here. It comes back up to the 61.8. And we have the Bitcoin conference. You know, in this is why it's wild, right? All of the euphoria peaks around the 61.8 retracements. Very strange. All of the euphoria. Like, let me just give you an example of what happened here. This was in 2021. Let's actually go back to the daily so you can see it properly. If you go back to 2021, I mean, like, I'll never forget this. All right. Literally, Bitcoin dropped here. Yeah, went down here. And then literally, what was here, friends? Elon Musk, Saturday Night Live, right here. That was it. Elon Musk, Dogecoin Mania. Doge peaks here. So Bitcoin drops, comes back. This is the alt season, by the way. Alt season's happening now. So alt season, and then Saturday Night Live, Doge. Literally the top, the exact top. We still haven't come back from that moment. Today. Years later. And that was it. It was literally pretty much all over. Altcoins, everything finished from that moment. So it's wild, right? That's actually how these things finish. Yeah. They don't finish with a dagger candle. Okay, just to let you know. So cycles, like, yeah, they don't finish with this just markets and everything. Yeah, you don't just go, okay, it's all over. It doesn't happen like that. If this happens, it's actually really bullish. You probably should be buying something like that. And then it'll probably like do something like this, right? It'll come back up and do that. They never do that, yeah? The ones that finish is when it comes up, it goes bang. It's what you call like the double top, right? See, this part is a 61.8 retrace of here. So if you draw a fib from there to there, this part is around the 61.8 and then they continue down. If you notice, if you go through all crypto charts, they all look like that. All of them. Okay, like even up here, right? When you see, look at this, friends. It's funny. The 61.8, like right here. Isn't that crazy? This was 2017 as well. So Bitcoin drops from 20K down to like 10K, whatever. He comes back to 61.8, 16 to 17K, right? Like that. There you go. Bang, bang. And then literally it's all over. That's how they actually all finish. But it's pretty cool to know that. Why? Because you don't have to stress about missing out to sell the top. You don't have to stress, exactly. Because the market pretty much, let's say Bitcoin really does hit something like, 220K, and you're so scared of missing the top. Maybe it comes back down to 180, comes back to like 200, right? But you might say, but you don't know it's going to top at 240, right? Because people are going to be selling along the way and then buying back in because they think it's over. So that's just something like to think about to help you like sleep at night. Now, also from the Bitcoin conference, the Tether CEO has basically reminded all USDT holders that they are cuckolds. They are straight cucks. They sit in a hotel cuck chair. So he's basically admitted Tether holds over 100,000 Bitcoin and 50 plus tons of gold. So how did they get this? If you're a Tether holder USDT, you earn no yield, so you're a cuck. So basically, you earn no yield holding Tether. They earn the yield, and then they keep the yield. They dump the yield. They keep it for themselves. So it's their profit. So all these losers, I guess, in crypto who just love holding these dog shit stable coins with a blacklist function, they're literally getting cucked in real time. I mean, friends, he even comes out to brag about it. Like,
Bitcoin is perfect. Gold is imperfect. Thank you. But the reality is that Bitcoin is money governed by math, and gold is not competing with Bitcoin, but gold is competing with fiat. So that's why we like a little bit of gold, because just we believe that in the future, gold will represent the natural Bitcoin.
So even look at their post here, live. Tether love Bitcoin. Tether love Bitcoin. Friends, imagine El Chapo goes, Chapo love police. Chapo love the law. Chapo loves judges. Chapo. Oh my god, he looks like an evil evil like James Bond villain as well. Man, what happened to Bitcoin, dude? This is just some weird Frankenstein of normies. Because he's like, but you're probably wondering what's happening. I'll tell you what's happening. They're getting dumped on. Michael Saylor's literally buying billions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, we're still not even 2x the previous all-time high. You're thinking about how far we are, right? They're buying billions and billions. They will keep buying billions. The diminishing gain is so aggressive. You know what I mean? But it's good. It's good. So we got to get them all in, right? We got to get them all in, because when they're all in, the alt season stuff happens. That's what we need. Here is him bragging about the 100,000 Bitcoin and the billions of dollars. Oh my gosh, look at this, friends. They made $13 billion in 2024 profit. 13 billion. Literally all of it cuck money. They take all the US dollars that people give to them. They take the yield. They give themselves the yield, and they give everybody the middle finger. And what they've done is they've gone, it's kind of funny, but how are they making the money? It's from Ethereum. It's from Ethereum and Tron. They don't have any Bitcoin deployed application, because no one knew that you can't do it. Bitcoin has no tech. Altcoins are the infrastructure of it. So that's how they sell themselves everywhere. They said, we love the Bitcoin. We love the Bitcoin. We love the Bitcoin. Oh man. Well, can't say I didn't warn you. And that's why, like, what I've done, friends, is, well, I've shown you the fundamental story behind why cuckolds, when Bitcoin dominance starts rolling over, like, I already know you're all going to buy it too early. Everyone's going to buy it back too early. I know they are. And then they're going to get a shock. It's going to be like a real believers cycle. I don't know how it's going to play out. It could be just like, Ethereum shows like mega strength while Bitcoin's weak. It catches up somehow. You just don't know exactly how. You don't know when. I mean, you have Willy Woo calling for a 90% Bitcoin dominance. You have Bitcoin conference, basically Trojan horsing themselves. It can only end one way, just a matter of time. In other news as well, friends, so Norway-based crypto brokerage firm K33 becomes the latest company to adopt a Bitcoin treasury strategy. So they bought like $5 million worth. So we're seeing international FOMO. Hopefully, it becomes clear, just like 1999, the tech bubble blow up, where any company that said we're going on the internet, right, their stocks just went up. Everything in tech went up just because they would rename to that, you know. Now, we already saw 2017 crypto companies came out and that happened, but now we might see a FOMO where everybody adds Bitcoin to the balance sheet. That might be it, where everybody just says we're adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet, and they're able to access, like, you know, more loans, more leverage, more money. Maybe stock prices go up. That's hopefully we get to see that. Obviously, it's going to be dangerous and end in tears, but that would be like, you know, something that we've seen, like a repeatable pattern of people in history, which is wonderful, because I wasn't around for 1999 tech bubble and when it bursted and everything. I'm a student of history. I've learned all that. But I know everybody in crypto as well, they weren't around, so they don't know. I like that. And that's why I'm teaching you about it. So we've learned from history. So we've had like a generation of people to forget what it was like. They're like, oh no, crypto is different. We've got liquidity and rails and Bitcoin goes up and there's leverage buying, there's demand here, right? And they're like conflating the two. So it's easy for them to suspend their belief. They basically have, like, you know, no limiting factor, which is exactly, I'm like trying to put myself like, hey, this would look like a 1999 repeat. And what's even more fascinating, friends, what I'll do is I've got to crank it up a bit for us, play some pump music. The people who are aware crypto's like repeating that internet tech stuff, they're in stocks. So they're barely exposed, you know? So the people who are in the know, I'm like, this is the thing, friends. There's that famous George Soros, who's literally the devil himself. But George Soros, friends, remember, he's got that famous quote where he says, basically, he's George Soros, you know, looks like he's giving us the middle finger as well to humanity. So George Soros is him and his son. Yeah, pretty much. We'll probably be hearing about his son. Total lizards. I don't know what they're doing. Dark magic, summoning. I don't know what they're doing, but it's bad. So he has that famous quote where he goes, like, you know, markets aren't rational. He goes, when I see a bubble, he goes, I look to join it. Yeah, it's kind of like giving you an idea of basically, you know, he sees a big high or low momentum wave. I look to buy the dip on that, you know, because I don't think it's popped yet, right? He goes, even though I think fundamentally the valuations are high, you know, so I think we can just borrow a bit from that that knowledge and apply that here. And actually, just moments ago, friends, from the Bitcoin conference, one of the Twink brothers, the Twinkle Vosses, so they have, remember, they're owners of Gemini Exchange. Remember, they were early Facebook guys, made their billions because Mark Zuckerberg actually stole off them. They've made this post, Cameron, buying Bitcoin is the financial equivalent of getting 8 hours of sleep. So it just, man, you know you're not early when you see this stuff. Happy faces, everybody's ready for camera, different outfits. Here's the guy who wants to live forever like Dracula, the vampire again. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're cool now. This is dangerous, bro. Where's the Ethereum shirts? None. Where's the altcoin talk? None. Literally none. Absolutely none of it. Which is beautiful. Because it means we're early. That's what you want to see. It's a tough life, friend. It's a tough life. Yeah? This is Marcus, though. Do you want to win or do you want to be everyone's friend? You want to be everyone's friend? All right, go buy the top with them. Go buy the top of Bitcoin with them. Go all in. Go dump all your altcoins. Go buy the top with them. See how that works out. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. All right. Wait till you see how sweaty the forehead is going to be of all these people watching Bitcoin dominance go down. They're going to go real quiet. We'll see. Bergen County, I think it's from New Jersey. Shout out to all my baby dolls over there in Americana, New Jersey. I used to watch Jersey Shore, man. That was an amazing show. New Jersey, Bergen County, to tokenize $240 billion in property deeds on Avalanche blockchain. The 5-year project will digitize 370,000 property deeds across New Jersey's most populous county. So, does it pump Avalanche? Nah, it gives it some basic network effect, I guess. But remember, these things, you're just putting deeds on. So it's getting a start. Before we tokenize property and put all the marketplaces and everything there in the future, that's what probably the vast next 10 to 15 years will be. Where, you know, there's you know, public transparent blockchains for marketplaces and stuff, for property and stuff. yeah, before we get to that point, we got to put all the, all the other boring stuff on just to get just everything. Remember, the most important tokenization of a real world asset, we've already got it in StableCoin SuperCycle, friends. The SuperCycle thesis. You already know, like I'm using pDAI as my belief of that. And of course, it is risky. It could go to zero for the third time. There's other alternatives to play. You could buy ETH, you could buy XRP, you could buy Athena, ENA, you could buy MakerDAO. So there are alternatives if you wanted to participate in stablecoin SuperCycle. It's just I'm comfortable personally with this being first cycle unicorn level. It is like 350x to $1 if it gets it, and forget $1, man. It's 35x to 10 cents. The biggest returns of all the other coins I listed, they're going to give you what, like between a 3 and a 6x. This is like 10 times higher, right? So that's why I like it. You know what else I like? I like PulseChain as well, friends. Unfortunately, this is just all-time low measuring. It's a COPE one. If we just go to 24-hour reading, everything is down. Pulse is down 6%. Someone said one guy sold 3.5 billion Pulse at one clip or something. Market sold. I don't know. But yeah, pretty much everything is correlating out here. It's going to be a while. Yeah, still waiting and waiting, huh? In other news as well, the corrupt SEC has officially dropped its lawsuit against Binance. So then Binance thanks President Pump and Paulie Boo Atkins. So he basically thanks them. So here's just a photo of Paulie Boo Atkins and President Pump. So friendly reminder, this makes no sense. Because basically, look what they said. They said, thank you, Chairman Atkins and the Trump team for pushing back against regulation by enforcement. It's the same guys that arrested you, Binance. All right, and to let you know, it's the same people. It's not different. It's the illusion of difference. It's not. Okay? Yeah? You've got green dog shit and you've got brown dog shit. It's still dog shit. You don't want that on your dinner plate. Obviously, I've told you many times, friends, and for everybody out there who's new, welcome. Take a seat, please. Welcome. The reason why Binance was attacked in the first place is because BlackRock wants to control Bitcoin and will probably have a big hand in controlling it. So to control it, they have to control the trading volume. To control the trading volume, they have to send all the trading activity of the spot activity to conduit like exchanges that they have a full-on grip on, who will comply and make their life easier. Coinbase is a US regulated exchange. They're on the stock market, right? Coinbase, Cucks, made by Brian Boldstrong. So obviously they're in cahoots with them. Yes. Now, Binance were destroying Coinbase in volume the whole time. Coinbase, terrible customer service, trading's dog shit, didn't even have derivatives, just this shit, just garbage, right? They're too slow. So the government helped push the acceleration of Coinbase adoption further. What do? They attacked CZ, sent him to jail for 4 months. They removed the Binance US dollar. Yeah, because they had $20 billion of there. They literally disabled it. And then they removed their $1 billion profit per year market there. They just cucked everything to do with Binance. They made it illegal for Binance to hook up to any US bank account or any bank account, which is true. Binance could only accept deposits from crypto at that point. So they cut off all exchanges so you couldn't even withdraw. So the government obviously had a list. They go chop, 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 chop. They just chopped everything off. And then Binance obviously went through this very tough period. And so during that time, the Bitcoin spot ETF comes. It's listed only on Coinbase, of course, and Coinbase is the custody. Coinbase holds all the Bitcoin. It holds Michael Saylor's Bitcoin. It's got BlackRock's BTC. Coinbase are the custodians of all of it. That's why America's like, okay, technology, we want to make sure that we can see we actually really own all that BTC. And that's where it comes to today. And now finally, it looks like, oh, a new regulation is appearing and crypto is cool again. No, dude, like Binance, they already killed you. You know what I mean? Like they already knocked you off first place. Okay, now you're already on the downtrend. No one's going to, for example, are you going to go buy a Bitcoin spot ETF on Binance? Like, as a big institution? No. Everyone knows Coinbase. So that's pretty much how it all happened. Now, if you're a blue-pilled cuck, it's hard for you to swallow. But, I mean, like, enjoy your Bitcoin conference. That's all I'll say. Now, where are we going to go from here, friends? Well, I'll just be honest, man. Here's the James Wynn post I made. He sold 2% of Titcoin supply in one click to fund his margin leverage Bitcoin long. His liquidation price is $105,000 now. This is a guy, Mr. Penguin Curator. A wallet dumped 2% of Bitcoin. It was transferred to Binance. It was now then deposited into James Wynn's hyper liquid account. Stygian, now I understand why my meme coins cheat when Bitcoin is down. The whales are actually addicted gamblers who sell their bags to add more margin. Got it. It's a fun joke, but it's not real true. It's risk, bro. That's it. It's risk and liquidity. You know, you can make up a reason. Oh, it's the leverage longs. Oh no, it's the weather. Oh no, Michael Saylor said something. Oh, it's the SEC. It doesn't matter, man. It just doesn't matter. That's just the game. Okay, if you can't accept those rules, literally, the casino doesn't force you to play. You know, no one tells you to go sit down at the table. This is a screenshot of James Wynn's position. Liquidation, 105,000. Margin used almost 7 million. I think he deposited like 25 million at the start. He ran it up to 85 million. Did not get out. Then he closed it when it came back to 13 million. He closed it. And then, oh man, he made a post saying, I'm a winner. I put in money. I made 13. I walk away now. It's great. 12 hours after that post, he's back on the game, brother. He gets short first, and then he loses 5 million. So he was actually short. Do you know that? Let me just show you. Shout out to Scott Milker, by the way. Scott Milker made this hilarious post. He's like, somehow this guy... I'm just something to get you, Reds. I'm going to show you the range. Somehow... This is just funny. Look at this, okay? Somehow, okay, he has... You know this little move here? This little freaking move, friends. He has literally gone nowhere. He's lost... He lost like 13 million here. Somehow. Yes, he got short. Man, he had it, man. He had it. He had the short. So you can actually see it. I think he got short here. And then it went up and he got out. And then it came back. He started getting long. So short, he got out, gets long, and now it's come back down. Oh, man. Also interesting. Look at Bitcoin price, friends. Look at the Fibonacci again. Isn't that wild? I just drew a fib from the top to the bottom. Right around here, and look, it comes back to the 61.8% retrace. It got him as a retailer. He was short, he was scared, and it's always around the 61.8, right? It comes back. Look at this up here. It gets the euphoria back in. Smack. It's wild how it works, isn't it? It's just like this repeating pattern just in nature everywhere. So we're only $1,000 Bitcoin price away, and he's been selling his coins, but he can't add much. Like he's adding 130 grand. He's adding, his big one was like a 500K ad. He's trying to add $80,000. Like, man, like, bro, if that's what you got, man, why did you do a 40x long on 13 or $20 million? So you have some commentary as well. Alberto. James Wynn just sold his remaining bag in one click. He had promised not to sell 2 days ago. Titcoin is free of him as of now. Bullish. Rectober. He desperate and added margin. Guy's a gambler with stolen funds. His karma is that he will lose it all. So many top wallets, right? Moonpig and oh man, this is just the game, dude. This is the game. And this is what it looks like. Oh man, look at this. This is his moon. Someone made a post about him on Moonpig. So he's been getting out to fund his liquidation. This is the thing, friends. You know this screenshot? He was short. He was dumping this to fund his short. And then it just went up high enough to make him go, crap, Bitcoin's actually bullish. I'm now going to get out of my short. Now I'm going to go long. And now he's losing both ways, man. It's just, you don't know what you're doing, bro. You've got no strategy, bro. Got no strategy. And like, let's say, whenever I talk like this as well, sometimes, friends, people always ask me as well, so I mean, what would you do if you were him? Well, obviously, he's got no strategy. He's got no time frame. He doesn't have anything. Okay, it's just straight. He's just a full retailer. Okay. However, let's say he was trading. I don't know what he's trading. Let's say he was trading the 4 hour. Yeah. Well, this is the wild part. Okay, because if you're long this 4 hour, it was green the whole time. Yeah. It's just flipped red. It's literally just flipped red now. So it doesn't mean necessarily it goes down like this. It's just finally flipped red. So you should be looking for shorts now. Okay. But here's where his long, my gosh, man, look what his long is literally here. His long liquidation is here. Bro, you can't have your entire account loses money if you get one trade wrong. You know, you can't do that. Like if you're curious as well, friends, like when you trade, yeah, you're risking about 1 to 2% of all your capital. That's what a lot of them do. And then like obviously some people time like on tilt, some people go like, 5 to 10% in like super high conviction stuff. But don't worry about it. If you're starting for the first 6 months, you don't know what high conviction is. You should be doing like 1 or 2%. You know what I mean? So he's got 13 million. Yeah, he's risked all 13 million in one trade. No, you can't do that. He's meant to be risking 130,000. Right? So he's literally got, he's literally 50 to 100 times bigger size than what he should be. So, you could put like a little EMA, a cute little EMA or something. Maybe Bitcoin comes around. Maybe it comes around here and then you can get short. Problem though is like, it's game over, bro. It's literally game over. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're racing, you're watching one of those, NASCAR, and the guy just crashed and his car's just spinning sideways and one of the wheels has flown off. And then you've paused the video and you go, okay, Sammy, you as a non-professional driver, what would you do to get out of this situation? I'm like, bro, like the wheels are off, like it's over. Pray. Just like literally just put your hands together and pray. I love his friends. What a journey we've been on. The most important thing we're cheering for now is Ethereum, of course. But also, friends, I just noticed something interesting. The pDAI to Pulse ratio is back at 75. Oh, wow. That's very nice. Very nice. And I have it here looking very, very nice. It's actually right there. Right there. I wonder if this is going to play out. The final boss. Right? This zone. I do wonder. StableCoin SuperCycle, huh? I wonder what's going to happen, man. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if PulseChain pumped hard and pDAI got to 5 cents, 10 cents. I wonder if the rest of crypto industry will see the light and buy pDAI to play the StableCoin SuperCycle. We'll see. We'll see. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.